What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Game Podcast, where we are reviewing all of season 1 of the Fallout series. I have Miss Corey Costa joining me today.
Hello.
And Mr. Frank Snyder joining us again.
How's it going?
Well, we are here to review episode number 6. I am slowly but surely making my way through this damn series, and I gotta let you know, guys, it's a pain in the ass. I wish I could just finish it. And
Are you really
just
only
know
just
the
watching
ending.
it one episode a week?
Yes, I'm
Good
being
for
faithful.
you. Good for
Yes.
you.
I can't do that.
No, I can't either.
I'm trying to stay true to the podcast here. Okay, I started it off that way. I might as well just finish it. I only got 2 more episodes, but after this episode, I wanted to just play the next one and just be like, "Fuck it." But I have remained faithful, guys. I have remained faithful. If anything, I have integrity in this world. Okay.
On this.
So episode. Wait, what was that?
On this. I have
On this,
integrity
yes.
on this.
Yes. So episode 6. Full spoilers from this point forward. Corey, what did you think about this episode?
So I rewatched it, and I just finished rewatching it literally 10 minutes ago. And I forgot how fun this episode was. I really did. I've forgotten how fun this episode was and how much you learn in such a small amount of time in this episode, because this is where a bunch of my because I've never played the games, so a bunch of my run to Brian and Frank and be like, what is happening? These people are terrible. And where you kind of start getting clicks in your brain that go, something's not right about these vaults. There's something bigger going on. And then of course we're like, no, we're not telling you, you gotta watch it. Or you gotta play it. It's fine, you gotta play it. So, which PS, I started Fallout 3 and I'm so terrible.
Yes.
I'm so terrible at it.
Freaking love Fallout 3. Oh, I love Fallout 3.
What was my first assessment of it? I hated it because it was dark and stupid and boring, and I didn't like it. Stupid.
What about you, Frank? What did you think about episode 6?
It's a fun episode. You start to see Maximus's and Ella's characters really start to click. You start to see a lot of backstory about the duel. You find out who Muldaver is, Isla. Because if you knew beforehand, bravo. But if you've never partaken in the Fallout lore, then it was a nice oh, how? Now the question is, how she survived so long? It's been 200 years.
Absolutely.
That is a
What's
big
going on
question.
there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You find out where you guys remember that big old boulder thing in
Yeah.
the pond. You find out where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You find out. You start to peer into what Vault Tech is really about with the vaults, and you actually, and others and other things. They're peeling back the
That's a
onion
little
layer.
more, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
they're
little
peeling
more.
back the onion layers. You got the skin off the onion now, I guess you could say. And then you find out, for the video game people out there, you find out what happened to the NCR.
So, when in the next episode, are we going to find out that they have like pineapples hanging on their doors for these elites?
You
and shit
think
like
they're
that?
swingers?
Oh, bruh, look, they're rich people. They swing like motherfuckers. Okay, they're here for the money, the swinging, drug, sex, and alcohol. Okay, that's the
Shout
name
out.
of the game. Indeed.
Shout out. I don't think they're swingers. I think it's just the no, I don't think they're swingers.
I
But
think it's about the liberty and the 50s, 60s vibe to kind of push off onto the characters, the open sexuality, and then that really resonates with today's crowd, with everything that's going on with gender identity and all that stuff. So I think they're just trying to crack that hook open just to kind of relate to a wider audience.
it makes
Are they
it PC,
swingers?
but not PC.
Yeah, are they swingers? Yeah, maybe. They're all sluts, I'll tell you that.
Jesus God.
But I mean, what are you going to do in a vault for
Well,
30, 40, 50 years? And you have to
Touche.
kind of hit as much as you can, because otherwise the gene pool will get, and everyone will have your name be released. So, makes sense.
I'm sticking by it. There's gonna be pineapple somewhere around. Look, they're all fucking
It has
each
to
other.
be
Okay.
upside down though to symbolize that, okay? Otherwise, right side up just means hospitality, and that's what the Hawaiians teach us, right?
So I think this is my favorite episode so far. I absolutely loved it. I love the Ghoul has been one of my favorite, probably my favorite character so far, anyways. And the fact that we get some of his backstory. You know, the whole thing so far is okay. What happens between him and his wife? And I think they set up that beautifully in this episode, where you're still like, okay, like they're like two lovebirds. Like, what the hell happens between them? And then they just slowly unveil the fact that Vault Tech is just like
Evil.
It's almost like a cult for her. Like she just can't see anything but Vault Tech being like these gods, and everything is Vault Tech and yada yada.
See, that's where I get that part. I do, but I also get her part as far as she's trying to protect her own.
I do too.
So she's trying to do as much as she
I would
can
do the same.
to protect her own, even if it means keeping secrets like the ones that she's keeping. And even if it means doing stuff that she would never normally do in another profession, just to keep her husband and her family safe, and her daughter safe.
I would do the same thing.
I think we would all do that at one point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the interesting thing about all these characters are, you can't really lean one way or the other. Like, okay, like we'll use the wife as an example. Like, okay, like she's kind of being a dick about it, but like I totally see her point of view on it, and I can't argue really against it. So that's kind of, I like the show for that reason, where they're like complicated characters. So it's not like just strictly, oh, this one's bad, this one's good. No, they're more complicated than that. And I think that's one of the things I just love about the show so much is that fact that I don't really know who to root for or not, because I'm like, I can see all their points of views, you know? I don't know what this says about me.
What did you guys think about the... Well, I don't want to reel here too much, but what about the... Well, I guess we can, right? You said spoiler warning to be, right? What do you guys think about the ritual?
Oh, God. That confused the shit out of me the first time I saw it. And when poor Lucy's like... And then they're like, we put the ashes of our dead...
Yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Or when she's like, just like everyone's getting naked and she's just like one little zip, like, okay, this is fine.
I love how her response is like all of our responses. Like, what the fuck?
She is the Ella Purnell. I don't know what it is about her, but the way she's playing Goosey, as Vault 4 calls her, is the perfect protagonist right now. She is perfect, right? So she's just the perfect storyteller. She's just, you just follow her and like, I don't know. I'm hooked on her. I'm hooked on the actress,
I'm very invested in her.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm very invested in her. Yeah, she's great. She's my favorite.
Oh yeah, like her and the Ghoul, man, like straight up.
And he's
the Ghoul makes me sad, like. And I guess because I've watched it all the way through, but
he's a tragic story, is what it is. He really is. He's a tragic. I guess you would classify him as your tragic antagonist, right? So, but Maximus, I didn't like him during the first watch through. I did not like the character. I didn't like him because I felt that they played him too dumb. When the Brotherhood of Steel in the games and in the lore are some of the more educated people. Okay? So, but as I'm rewatching it, because just like Corey, I watched it, I kind of skimmed through it before our podcast here. I'm starting to like him. He's starting to grow on me. I'm starting to appreciate his place in the story.
I really like him in this episode. I like that he is like they're a cult. They're fucking weird. They're a cult. And then at the end, he's like, I don't want to leave. My arm's still messed up. I don't want to go anywhere. As he's eating his like popcorn, like
Well, early oysters. These make you feel really good.
Right.
Yeah, I love how they swapped in
Yes.
this episode.
Yeah.
Where she's just like, nah, they're fine. No, this is totally a cult. And,
This is
and
the
we're all
safest
like,
place you can be. Yeah.
and we're all like, oh no, dude, that's totally a cult. Totally. And then like she realizes it's a cult, and he's drank the Kool-Aid.
I love that that Vault 4, the one that they're in, is the same one from the very beginning that Cooper is in and rooting for. Like, this is Vault 4 and you can walk and see your friends, and exactly. So I like that they mesh that together too.
Right. So those two scientists, the male and female in the beginning, are the ones that did all the experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So have you delved into any lore, Matt? Like, have you haven't looked at what all the vaults did and what?
Anytime,
Dude, that-
Nada.
Ooh.
anytime you come across a vault in the series, I do it for the games, I'm doing it for the series, go to the wiki site for Fallout. And
Okay.
just dive into the lore. Because it fills in all those little gaps that would be nice to have in the series and all that, but it would just be kind of wasted screen time at the end of it. But yeah, that vault was designed for experimentations. They were trying to combine human to radiation-resistant animals. That's how the bulkers were made. That you saw in the previous episode that swallowed the guy whole, took his boot, all that stuff. That's how the original Vault 4 people eventually got killed, is because they found out about the experiments and they all revolted. And then you find out that the overseer was his name, William, I think? William, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a 5th generation guy, but you find out that he was actually a test subject. He is one of the developers that killed the original scientist was his uncle.
Yeah.
So
That was
a lot
my
of cool little
uncle.
stories how they tie it together. That's what I appreciate.
But that's why you see all the ones like the overseer with the one eye and the ones with the glowing eyes. It's because they're all
extra nose and all that.
Yeah, they don't look at that like what's the name? Maximus is not like looking at them and like, oh, this ain't fucking. This is kind of weird.
Well, but he's been on the surface, so he sees ghouls and weird and the guy with the diaper, Corey trying to make sand out of water or water out of sand. So
what we were talking about before we started recording, okay, and it was one of the best moments in the episode. That is
2 moments.
It was 2 moments. Lucy trying to hook up with Maximus, and let me tell you, I have never disliked Maximus so much in my life. When he said no, I was like, bro, I officially
really.
I was
It
like,
shows you
bro.
his innocence as a squire.
He has no idea.
And it
No
shows you his
clue.
innocence as a squire. And the cult that he's a part of, or was a part of, Brother of Steel, it shows you how sheltered they are. So
I was just
I don't thinking, you deserve everything that comes to you, man. If you turn her down, you deserve everything that comes to you. You deserve to be experimented on, okay?
deserve to be a test subject.
yeah, that panned out to the test subject. Here was like, oh god,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
typical Vault Tech shenanigans. Here we go.
But the best part about that is, she's just like straight up, do you want to have sex?
Do I have sex?
And then he just comes up with, well, I mean, I don't want it to get like hard and explode. I'm like, no, that's what we
Right.
want.
That's
mean
what
with
we're
my-
going for.
You mean with my cock?
Right? Using a cock? Like,
Like,
that's-
it gets all big and weird like a pimple, and it
it
pops.
pops.
Yeah, that's pretty normal, life. You want that to happen.
And she's just so
Yeah.
calm, like, yes, that's the end goal. Like, that's what we're going for. That's what
Ideally,
we are
yeah.
supposed to do.
What did she say? Yeah, I mean, we hope.
Yeah, right, we
That's
hope.
the
Like,
goal.
that's the goal. We hope.
And
And then he gets sucked into the cult because they give him his own little Pip Boy, and he can go. Like, I also love the. What do you mean a hot shower? What are you talking about? A hot shower?
Or eating
And
the
then-
soap.
Yes.
Yeah, and then a little later on, he asked Lucy if she wants to have intercourse.
Well, he said, you, what does he say, Frank?
Which part?
The when they're in the house together and he wants to have sex.
Oh,
And
he
he's-
says, "Oh, you should try these oysters. They make you feel really good. Do you want to? Do you want to?
Do you want me to use my cock now? Do you want me to use my cock now?
You want to have, or I mean, intercourse?" And she's like, "No, these guys are weird. Let's get the heck out of here."
And again, like
Yeah.
that's when he's like, "No, I'm my arm still hurts." Like, meh.
Again, you know what?
But-
The laziest and quickest excuse to stay for oysters and popcorn. Yeah. And to
and
watch a waterfall.
the possibility of sex. Maybe she'll change her mind.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows? Maybe they have plenty of time for activities.
That's
So
keep
much
walking.
room and time for activities.
I don't even need that much time, you know. I can do so much. I can do so much, but so little time.
Shout out.
But yeah, I think the only other thing that I would like to mention about this episode is a little bit further is that we're starting to peel back the layers of Vault Tech and just how, I don't want to say corrupt they are, but they are corrupt, but just how like money hungry they are. And you know, a lot of the series, a lot of this episode revolves around Vault Tech and like Cooper's questioning, okay, like, yeah, we'll go to a vault, you know, one maybe that's not as expensive as all the others, you know, but I want my freedom. And his wife is all like, fuck it, we're alive. Who cares about our freedom? And
When
you know
she
that-
made the comment about when he was like, "We have money, we can buy ourselves into a vault," and she's like, "No, a good vault." That's when I was like, "Well, aren't they all good vaults?" Wait, how are
Yeah.
they
So
not all good vaults? Like that was my first.
She dropped a hint earlier in the episode too. I forgot what she said exactly, but it was made to be like it's not everything as appears. It is as
Right.
it seems. You know what I mean? And then she drops that bomb at the dinner table too. You know what I mean? And that's when he says, "No, there's something sinister going on."
yeah, I actually wrote down
not.
a note. One of the good vaults, like you could kind of spin that a couple of different ways. Like, are you saying they can't afford one of the good vaults? Or is there something like fucked up with the other ones? You know,
Right.
they're more expensive, and it's just there's a couple of different questions we can kind of spin off of this. And I caught that same line too, and I was like, huh, I wonder what exactly she means by this.
I love that we have some Matt Berry in here. He's in here for a little bit of time, but I do just love him so much.
His voice is sexy.
He is. I just love him so much. So when I actually finally now. I love that he was at the party and kind of the weird guy because I was like, that fits. That does his little lines and he's like, "Let's go hang out in the hot tub." And the lady's like, "Oh no, no, oh no, I'm good. No, I'm good, thanks."
And then one other thing, Moldaver. We kind of get some. I guess it's filling some of the blanks so far. I mean, we don't get the entire curtain pulled back, but enough that we're like, okay, like we'll see where this is going. Honestly, I kind of forgot that she was even in the show because we haven't seen her since what,
Yeah.
episode 1?
1 or 2, yeah.
1 or 2.
Yeah. But the fact that she's kind of going against Vault Tech, and I don't know, I feel like. And this goes back to the point that I had earlier about all the characters being complicated. I mean, I don't even know if she's even the villain anymore, you know? And
Yeah.
the first episode, that's who they painted as the overarching villain was her. And I don't know. I don't think she is anymore.
I'm real confused, guys.
I am.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of everybody's a villain in their own right.
Everyone's
Exactly.
a villain. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, it is a post-apocalyptic nuclear world
Right.
or nuclear society. Excuse me. But if you play the games and that you have to play Fallout 3 or Fallout 2 or Fallout 1 or all of them if you can find the time, you get to know a little bit. Out of the hundreds of vaults they have, there's only a couple of control vaults that are actually what they are actually sold to be.
The good vaults.
The good vaults. Everything else has some type of twisted, sinister way. They don't have enough food. They don't have enough.
Or there's only one man.
There's only one man. The X is
What vault number is
supposed
that?
to feel- Yeah.
What?
there's-
Real quick, what vault number is that?
Or
Sign
there-
me up.
Ah.
So yeah, it's vault tech is not the fickle way. That's
Mm-mm.
just a mascot to them.
Yeah, but I don't know. I love the character development of this episode, and then
Yeah.
like my whole thing is we've had episodes where okay, we're going to develop the characters in this episode. Maybe not push the story so far forward. And then we've gotten lore heavy episodes where they're just really trying to lay the foundation, expand the world, and kind of push the story forward more so than the characters. And on this episode, we get a little bit of everything. And I think that's why I love it so much. Because I think they just fired on all cylinders here.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
They did. They came in hot. They explained lore. They hit all the right check boxes. It was a great mid-season episode. Yeah, it was nice to watch it again. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely ready to watch episode 7, which will be probably tomorrow. I'm not
Like,
waiting
good
no
for
more.
you. I'm really proud of you. Proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. That means so much.
Proud of you and your commitment.
Yeah.
It's a little dumb, but I respect it. Well, I appreciate y'all joining me for this review. For everybody else out there, the description below, you have links to all of our social media accounts. We would greatly appreciate it if you like, subscribe, follow, do all that bullshit. Really helps us out. And then drop us a comment below what you thought about episode number 6. Well, all right, guys, that's going to be it from us. And we'll catch y'all next week on another episode. Laters.
Later.